I'm straight to the point. I don't beat around the bush. You don't have to guess all night. Jupiter and Braspiti are the fifth and largest of our solar system. Jupiter is the largest gas giant in our solar system. Astronomers knew about Jupiter for a long time. Romans named this planet after their god Jupiter. Jupiter is the brightest object in the sky after the Sun, Moon and Venus. The study of this planet is quite strange, and it has its own rings too, but Jupiter's ring system is not as prominent as the ring system of Saturn. Greetings friends, you are watching Documentary Library and I am your friend Sheshi. In today's episode, we will learn about Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system. In 1610, Galileo Galilei discovered the four largest moons of Jupiter, also known as the Galilean moons. But it is also worth noting that as early as 362 before Christ, a Chinese astronomer had discovered the moons of Jupiter. Astronomers continued to study Jupiter until the 7th and 8th centuries before Christ. Great Indian mathematician and astronomer Aryabhata was born in 476 Anno Domini. He stated in the 99 that Jupiter completes one orbit around the Sun in 4,332,2722 days or 11.86 years, जो कि बिल्कुल सही है. The diameter of the planet Jupiter is 1,944,000 kilometers and its density is 0.0467 ounces per cubic centimeter, which is second in all the big planets, but it is less than all the dwarf planets. Jupiter is made up of gas and thermal particles on the surface. About 75% of its atmosphere is hydrogen gas. Shaitani planets are very challenging to the surface, like Prithvi and aneterrestrial planets. The atmosphere begins with a solid layer. The temperature on this surface remains up to 340 Kelvin or 67 degrees Celsius. Bands of light and dark colors are visible in Jupiter's atmosphere. It is believed that these are formed due to pressure differences in the parts of gas in its atmosphere. And for this reason, large storms form between the two bands on Jupiter, which are a spectacle to behold in Jupiter. The biggest storm in the hemisphere so far, so big that it can fit 2 Earths in it. This storm is known by name. This storm was searched in the 17th century, and it is believed that it has been there for 300 years. This storm has been formed on Jupiter for a long time. Many small storms have also been seen on this planet, which end in a few decades. The energy that Jupiter takes from the Sun, it radiates more energy than this in space. Why is its core so hot and its temperature is nearly 20,000 Kelvin? It is believed that there are 3 layers in Jupiter's atmosphere. The first is the metallic core, which is continuously heated by gravity. The second region contains hydrogen in liquid form, which is fully electrically conductive. And due to this region, Jupiter has the strongest magnetic field in the solar system. The magnetosphere of this planet extends up to 65 million kilometers. It extends even beyond the planet's moon Ganymede. And the third region is filled with ordinary hydrogen and helium. There are clouds of ammonium crystals and ammonium hydrosulfate on Jupiter. Beneath these clouds, there is a very thick layer of water clouds. Here, the speed of the winds can reach up to 223 miles per hour. Jupiter is 778 million kilometers away from the Sun. Joki is 5 kilometers away from Prithvi's house. It takes 43 minutes for the Sun's light to reach this planet. Jupiter has the shortest day in our solar system, which is only 9 hours, 50 minutes and 30 seconds long. This cycle takes about 11.8 years to complete, which means a year on Jupiter is approximately 4,332 days long. However, this planet does not have seasons like those on terrestrial planets. There are two things that are very special about this planet's rotation. One is that its rotation period is the shortest, about 9 hours, 50 minutes and 30 seconds. The other is very different. The special thing is that the different parts of this planet rotate at different speeds. The polar atmosphere of this planet rotates from one side to the other in about 5 minutes. Shani Loin is known to be brave. But it sounds strange to hear that there are rings of the Jupiter planet too. I can't see the corners of the Juki Dacia's cap. It is believed that there were never any rings in this crash. These rings are made from the debris that was left behind, which was captured by its gravity. We now know that the debris from the crash is actually from the satellite that was left behind. Among them, Galileo discovered the 4 largest satellites, Ganymede, Callisto, Io, and Europa, with Ganymede being the largest, even larger than the planet Mercury. For further study and understanding of this planet, several missions have been launched since 1973. Since the beginning of 1973, Pioneer 10 was the first mission launched for Jupiter, which passed through the orbit of Jupiter and sent us many photographs and information. In its 6-year mission, Voyager discovered the rings of Jupiter and also told about the Great Red Spot Storm. After this, Cassini and New Horizons missions were sent. Galileo probe was the first spacecraft which did a flyby of Jupiter. The Galileo probe dropped a 340-kilogram titanium atmospheric probe into Jupiter on December 7, 1995. It descended 1,600 miles into its atmosphere and gathered a lot of information for 57 minutes before it was destroyed. This is due to the increase in temperature and pressure. It crashed at 23 atmospheric pressure. Perhaps after this, it may have vaporized due to the heat. And on September 21st, 2003 Galileo orbiter was also thrown into its gravity for destruction. And it also left us with some unknown knowledge. The Galileo orbiter recorded the temperature of this planet up to 300 degrees Celsius and the wind speed up to 400 miles per hour until it did not vaporize. National Aeronautics and Space Administration sent another mission Juno, which reached Jupiter's orbit on July 4, 2016. For the next 20 minutes, it will complete 37 orbits of Jupiter before being sent to crash on the surface of Jupiter's moon Europa, the mission known as Juno. Founding. The burden of not being able to console was given away. Its arrival raises many questions today, those that make Jupiter mysterious. In the aftermath of this crisis, there is very little water available, but the Galileo probe did not provide any doubt about this matter. It is possible that the probe fell into a dry area in the shade, but more information is needed on this issue. How much the gray that is moving on, this is going to the extreme, and who has such power that can drive them? There is still no information available on this issue. The history of this gray is still a mystery to us because so far no probe has been able to reach its core or inner layers. The rings of Jupiter are dark in color, but the rings of Saturn are shiny. Why and how did this difference come about? This question remains unanswered to this day and has puzzled many in the scientific community. The chemistry of this gas giant is very complex.